Hi, my name is Trevor Lewis, and this is another video from the Voyager Middle School STEAM Lab. In this video, we're going to have an introduction to xShape, which is part of the 3D Experience suite of tools. We've been mostly using xDesign so far. xShape is for more organic forms, like here's an example. So I'm used to using something like Mesh Mixer, which has triangular meshes that can be manipulated, and this is not quite doing the same thing, but you have a wireframe here that you can manipulate and modify the surface, which allows you to make more organic shapes like this. What my students are going to do is they're going to make something with a flat bottom that's an organic shape so that we can 3D print it. Let's have a look at this one real quick before I show you how I got here. So a lot of these tools are the same. Except for you're going to heavily use this one called Subdivision here, I think. That this is the one that I've figured out the most on so far, so that's where I'm going to focus. But the other thing that you're going to want to switch to a lot is View, because these little panels here are very useful when you're editing, but when you're trying to think of what this object is actually going to look like, it's not going to have any of these black lines on it. Those black lines just show you where the different sections are. So it's useful to come in here and go to this menu right here. Right now it's set to shading with edges, which is the default. I like to go to just shading without smooth edges. You still get the edges in between the surfaces that way. So you get a little bit more of the sharp edges, but you get a sense of what's going on there. You can also switch it to just shading, but I find that to be a little bit too vague for my taste. But you can get a sense of what this object's going to look like when it's all 3D printed and done. I haven't quite figured out how to combine multiple objects very well into one surface, so I'm going to stick with just making a single object right now. And once you have this object and you've got these panels, you can select any panel, and then you should be able to, let's see. Oh, I'm outside of it, the subdivision. If I open the subdivision like it's a sketch in xDesign, then I should be able to grab one of these panels or one of these lines or one of these, I think I can even grab a vertex, and then it creates this configuration here, this sort of move widget. And this is a fairly standard move widget for mesh editing or for moving objects in space. So the way it works is you can grab the center and just try and drag it, but it won't necessarily let you drag it in 3 dimensions very easily, because how do you drag it into the screen or out of the screen? How is that different than dragging it up or down? It's really hard to tell. But these coordinate axes are here for that purpose. So you should be able to drag this dot wherever I want by dragging a combination of away from the surface, along the surface this direction, and along the surface this direction. I should be able to reposition it, and it stretches things out. If I grab the center, you can also just try and move it around, but you're basically moving it around in some defined plane that's hard to tell. You can also, you should be able to grab these rings to rotate, which rotating the point is probably not going to do a whole lot. You can grab these circles to scale. Again, that's not going to do a whole lot here. Let's try a panel here. So let's grab the ring and rotate here. You can kind of see how that's twisting the whole object. I can also move it out or inward, and you can see it's adjusting the panels around it. I can also stretch it, and you can select more than one panel at a time. So you can try and grab more than one thing at a time. There's probably a way to do that with Shift or Control. There's Control. So if I grab it with Control and then I say I want to stretch that out, or I want to drag it outwards, you can see I'm moving the whole thing at once and everything's adjusting around it. What I want my students to try and maintain is a flat bottom on it so I can 3D print it. If I've distorted it here, you can see it's not quite flat. I'll just cut it flat before I 3D print it. So this is how you manipulate the mesh. You can also use some of these subdivision tools to manipulate the mesh. The one that I have understood the best is this one right here, where I subdivide the faces. So if I select a face and I choose subdivide, it will break that face into more pieces, which allows for greater detail. So that means I can grab, instead of grabbing that whole face, I can grab just one part of it. And this should allow for greater detail. Usually when you have more subdivisions, you can put in finer detail. So you might want to play around a little bit with that if you want to add a little bit more detail in an area by subdividing the faces. The other one that I've learned how to use is extrude, and extrude is pretty obvious. It basically just makes a bump. So if you click on a place, it bumps it up, and I haven't figured out a way to make it go less or more. It just bumps it. So if I do that and hit the check mark, it just pushes outward. But that can be very useful as well. So those are the really obvious ones. Some of these other ones I haven't quite figured out the best way to do, but these are the things that I think are going to be most useful. But before you do all of these things, there's some primitives that you can start with. So this is how I got started in the first place, was I used one of these. You can also start with a flat surface, but then you have to join surfaces, and I'm not sure how to do that yet. I'm still learning. So I'm going to close this subdivision here, and I am going to move over here and drop a new object. I would use one of the ones that's flat on the bottom, so a box, I think, or a cylinder, or a cone. If you don't have one that's flat on the bottom, I'm going to have to cut it flat on the bottom in the 3D printing software so that it'll print flat on the build plate, or have to put a bunch of supports underneath it. I haven't tried a cone yet, so I'm going to just drop a cone out here. And you can see when I drop it, it gives me all of these things. So that's flat-ish, yeah. So you can say, like, how many divisions do you want going up? So this is a measure of detail, right? You can say, how many divisions do you want on the top? So you can add more on the top or on the bottom. You can say how many. So actually, that's not the top and the bottom. These are the top and bottom surfaces, and this is how many around the outside. That's how it works. It's the 3 dimensions. And if these get in the way, I like that you can reposition them. Okay, so as you're doing that, and then you can scale it. You can also crease the edges so it won't have rounded corners. And then you just hit the check mark, and that gives you your starting object. Okay, so then you can manipulate those as you like. Then I would go to View and turn off those smooth edges. That might not be showing because I think it's open. If I close it, will it get rid of that? Yeah, see, smooth edges will go away. So I would like to see you start with a primitive and then modify it in some way, make it interesting. Maybe try and make it into a recognizable shape, make it into an animal shape or a plant shape. See if you can sculpt something. See if you can make something that is interesting for us to 3D print.